So this was 2 days ago from 10#42. And the title is CIG have to change the minimum spec. So I guess the minimum specs for Star Citizen are not living up to a good standard, apparently. So let's see what 10#42 has to say about this. He does a lot of the content around, you know, how does this CPU fare in Star Citizen stuff. So he's kind of the guy to go to.
CIG are liars. These are the sorts of phrases.
Wait, were any of those my thumbnails? Nope. Nice.
Liars. These are the sorts of phrases you might expect to hear on the Star Citizen Refund Reddit page. But there is one area where CIG have been lying to us for a long time, and I'm here to expose it. We are talking about the official minimum spec. We are focusing on the CPU. These CPU recommendations are crazy. A quad-core CPU, so 4 cores, no hyper-threading needed according to this. Intel Sandy Bridge or AMD Bulldozer. Now, we're going to ignore AMD Bulldozer because that is even worse than Sandy Bridge, but we're focusing on Sandy Bridge. I've gone out and spent my hard-earned money on this, a 2011 i5-2400S. It is a quad-core Sandy Bridge CPU. This is the official minimum spec. And the crazier thing is that when you scroll down, it's also recommended spec. I've been saying for a long time that this is crazy. There's no way that this will run properly. Here we prove that is the case. We're going to compare this quad-core Sandy Bridge CPU to the actual minimum spec CPUs, in my opinion. We've got, on the Intel side, an i7-8700, which has got 6 cores, 12 threads. And then for AMD, we've got the Ryzen 5 3600, again, 6 cores, 12 threads. They've both got 16 gigs of RAM, running pretty slowly, 2400 mega transfers, and all 3 CPUs are using the GTX 1660 as the GPU. Okay. Before we actually get into some benchmarks, I just want to show you the loading. It takes a long time to load. And the first time when you load in, when you're compiling the shaders, it takes even longer. And you'll see some footage here showing you just how long it's taking for everything to pop in. It does take a very long time. And then once we were into Lorville, we did some benchmarking. Now, we tried to do some benchmarking, I should say, because I could not get around Lorville consistently. Most of the time where I loaded in, I could only get to the train and the train just wouldn't appear. I could see other people going into the train and disappearing from my screen, but I myself couldn't get on the train. So this represents half of the Lorville run for the Sandy Ridge CPU, and you'll see it's just miles behind the actual minimum spec CPUs, which, to be fair, have dropped below 30 because Lorville is now really hard to run, but very playable, very usable for the other two. ArcCorp, it's exactly the same situation. We've got a strong 11 FPS average. Again, the other two CPUs are totally fine, very playable, but the official minimum spec is completely unplayable. You can't play the game at 11 FPS. Onto some slightly more forgiving.
Wait, I played at 11 FPS for like 5 years.
Benchmarks. We've got the Horizon Rooftop, and we've got a nice 16 FPS. We're approaching sort of frames where you might be able to play the game, but still you can't play the game at that. And the render thread scene that I've got where you look across Horizon, heavy on the render thread. 8 FPS here for the official minimum spec. Not ideal. Quantum travel though.
Not ideal.
Whoa, look at this, 36 FPS. We are free from the cities.
Yeah, I get like 300 FPS in quantum travel because there's nothing around you.
And you're getting fine. That would be fine. If the rest of the results were fine, you would be able to go into quantum travel. But the likelihood is you won't get out of the city. You'll have turned it off by then anyway. And finally, the cherry on top, we're in space, nothing is going on, and we're hitting nearly 40 FPS. Incredible.
Wow. Imagine getting good frames where you can't do anything or play the game. Holy, no way. All I have to render is a skybox? Yo, 40 FPS. By the way, like, it's still bad. Your frames are being dropped by your ship down to 40 FPS.
Let me show you a bounty hunting mission that I tried to do. We're in the teens, but this is completely unplayable, and Yeah.
What is he shooting at?
We have proven here that CIG's minimum spec are completely wrong. And
okay, listen, I am not here to defend CIG on any of this stuff. That is playable. That's a playable. Like that, you can kill that chip. You can actually kill it. But like, so that is like very like technically playable. I just don't agree that like this is unacceptable. Like, no, it's unacceptable, right? But it is like you can. I think he can complete the mission.
I don't know why they've never updated this.
Yeah, but you need to get there in the first place.
Still thinking that they're going to aim to support these CPUs, but there's just no way that's ever going to happen. The amount of optimization would be insane to get this game running on a quad-core Sandy Bridge CPU. And remember, again, the bulldozer from AMD of this generation are much, much worse. My hope...
Are you on crack today, Mike? Because saying 15 is playable is on crack. I'm not saying it's playable. It's not serviceable. I'm just saying he could finish that mission, where I think he didn't because he wasn't even shooting at a pip. Like, I just saw so many like red flags in that clip. Like, he was shooting all the way to the left when there was no pip. He wasn't in range at all, like kind of making it look worse than it was. I don't think this 10-pound 42 is like the man. Like, I don't think he's doing it that on purpose. Maybe he has really high input lag or something. Okay.
Is that CIG will, now that I've proven them to be liars, they are liars. They are actually proven liars. My hope is that they will update this page, because this doesn't help anybody. Like I said, from my point of view, I would recommend 8th Gen i7 from Intel. I've tested the i5 in the past and it's a bit too slow now. Or the Ryzen 3600 or 3000 series upwards. They are the minimum that I want to go into this game with. In the cities, they will hover around the 30 mark. You will drop below them in parts, but they are playable for Star Citizen everywhere. But the official minimum spec is a lie.
Well, the minimum spec is a lie. There's not much else to say on that. I think CIG has way too many things going on. And this is my favorite thing. Kind Minky, stare, robertspaceindustriescom/telemetry. Hold on. Let me ask somebody who wants a simple and clear answer to look at an entire chart of ridiculous information and colors to try to figure out whether or not their computer can play this game. One of the dumbest things that this community does. I'm so sorry. And yeah, it's broken. On top of that, this community will go, the moment somebody goes, can my computer play the game? Oh, look at the telemetry. No, we should say, look at the minimum spec. And clearly the minimum spec is wrong, right? And yeah, like, again, not really defending anybody there in the bounty clip, but it seemed like I could complete that mission possibly at 15 frames. We've played the game at that frame rate for many, many years. So maybe I'm just a little bit more able to. But yeah, the whole thing is, outside of that, that is the only gameplay where you can possibly finish. Like, go down to a bunker. I wish he did, because no chance that was going to work. The cities, you're never even going to get out of them. Did you see that? There was no ground. You would have quit. You would have been like, holy shit, this game is the biggest pile of garbage I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, there's no way we would have even gotten out of it, so it doesn't really matter. CIG's got to change the min spec, and why does it take videos like these to possibly have those things happen is sad. It's because they're doing too much. They have way too many things on their plate to keep up to date with min spec, with what was it? Loaner ships, the stats of the ship on the website that you want to buy or already have, right? There's like, they just can't do it. And this is just another example of it. And it is what it is, but CIG do better in another aspect. Here we go. take a few minutes and update the website. Thank you.